it's very difficult to start a home health agency in the state of Indiana. And it's not about the money it takes to start the operations, just the process is difficult. So why not start a personal care agency? Well, their personal care agency process is easy and it doesn't require a lot of staffing. The home health agency requires administrators, clinical supervisors, another administrators, another clinical supervisor, and so on and so on. The PCA services only requires a manager. Their policy and procedure is pretty weird. Here's what it says. I'm going to read out of it, okay? It says, the following policy and procedures are required by Indiana Department of Health to facilitate the processing and approval of a PCA application. The department will not issue a license without all required documentation. It says the agency must develop policy and procedure, including the state statute. Then it says, do not copy and paste the state statute and submit as your agency's policy and procedures. It says, submit the policy and procedure in the order listed in the application and write your own policy and procedures. You're like, okay. So in Indiana, it's easy to get the policy and procedure, but it's easy to get the license for the PC agency. But writing the policy and procedure is not easy, which is why I recommend you go buy policy and procedure that identify the name of each policy and insert a divider to separate each policy and documentation. It says use the correct name of the policy according to the statute. Do not submit additional information that's not required in the regulations. Okay? Do not submit policy that are intermingled, it says, with other services like family and social administrations. The Indiana Department of Health and Family Social Services Administration programs are different agencies and programs that require documentation specific to that agency. The FSSA waivers, policy, and procedures are not to be submitted with the department's policy, personal support services agency policy and documentation. And they're going on and on and on about policy and procedures. So in this state, for the personal care agency license, they're more concerned with the policy and procedures than anything else, which comes to my point. Why don't they just write the stupid policy and procedures and let the providers download the way they want it? But no, they're just making it difficult. But one thing you should be aware of, it says a personal services agency may not advertise as a home health agency and may not use in their name health or nursing as part of it. So you cannot come up with personal home care service, personal home health services, or Jamie's home health services, or Jamie's nursing care, and Jamie's no health or nursing in your name or your personal care agency service license name. All right. It says, according to this law, a person who operates a home health agency or advertises the operations of home health agency that's not licensed commits a Class A misdemeanor. Personal services agency doing business as a name must comply with the state. So you can get the personal care agency in the state of Indiana. It's not that difficult. The policy and procedure is very difficult. And I think that's their gateways. That's how they eliminate people from it. Okay? Policy and procedures requirements. Identify the policy by the correct name and headings. It says insert divider between each policy to separate policy and procedures from the text. Each policy must be a separate sheet of paper. It says do not send your agency's handbook policy as a policy and procedure. It says submit policy and procedure applicable to the state law only. Do not submit general policy and procedures that are not specific to the state code for personal care. General policies not specific to the state code will be rejected. Do not submit policies in a binder or a folder. Do not enclose policies in sleeves. Do not staple pages together. Do not submit. What the heck is wrong with these people? Why ask for the policies in the first place? This is an archaic way of an application, but that's what they literally, that's, I'm reading this from their website and I'm like, okay. But anyway, this is what they want, okay? It says, Indiana Department of Health will not arrange your policies for you. Each application should arrive in a format that's ready for review. This whole instruction page is called PSA Application Instruction Letter. It's all about how they want it to be organized. I am thinking there was some lazy ass person who wrote this uh, to, because they were just too lazy. That's what I would say. Because they could literally create a template online and ask people upload this policy, upload this policy, upload this policy, like Minnesota. And end of story. No, they have this instruction. That's ridiculous. And this is not all. This is back in 2022. Anyway, good luck with the PC agency in Indiana. It's all about the policy and procedures.